Yeah, I haven't heard him on yet. You can go ahead.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to the January 9th Board of Aldermen meeting. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. I now call this meeting to order and would ask everyone to rise and join the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would ask the city clerk to call roll for attendance in the first meeting in approximately about a month. Hope everybody had a nice Christmas and holiday season.
Alderman Allen?
Here.
Alderman Even?
Here.
Alderman Francisco?
Here.
Alderman Holman?
Here.
Alderman Hughes?
Here.
Alderman Mortland?
Here.
Alderman Perot?
Here.
And Alderman Weezahan.
Here.
Mayor Reem is presiding and we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Relative to the minutes from our December 12th meeting, I seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion or amendment on the minutes? Alderman Morton.
Yeah, you said I was not there. I've been followed up and up to speed, talked to Mr. Shelton.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor of accepting the minutes?
Aye.
Are there any citizens who wish to speak?
No, sir.
No, thank you. And there are no public hearings. Before we go to communications and reports, I think what I would like to do at this point is recognize our police chief Cavins, to talk about some well-deserved promotions in the Town and Country Police Department. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. Nice to see everybody's doing well. As many of you know that have been on the board for a couple of years, Lieutenant John Flanagan retired in July of 2021, and we suspended any promotions during that time until today for financial reasons for the city. So with your support and with the support of the PFE Commission, I am absolutely honored this evening to present to you the newest promotees within the Town and Country Police Department. The ceremony took place earlier this evening at 6 o'clock. In the vacancy that Lieutenant Flanagan vacated, we promoted Detective Sergeant Jeff McNutt to Lieutenant, and he'll take over as one of the operations commanders. His vacancy as Detective Sergeant will be filled by Sergeant Fred Yakub. Sergeant Yakub will move from the Patrol Division to the Detective Bureau and be the supervisor over the Detective Bureau. In Sergeant McNutt's sergeant's vacancy, Corporal Dan Bettleston has been promoted to sergeant.
You told me I had to start tonight.
He did. So Corporal Bettleston's been promoted to sergeant. He'll take over a patrol squad to fill Corporal Bettleston's spot. Detective Sapienza has been promoted to the rank of corporal. He'll be under the guidance of Sergeant Joe Giacopelli on another patrol squad. So we thank you very much for these opportunities for the promotions. To fill, because we promoted Detective Sapienza to corporal, that leaves us a vacancy in the Detective Bureau. That will be filled by, I guess now we can say, former Community Engagement Unit Officer Alex Pfluger, who's been responsible for all the 4E trainings in our schools, all of our community engagement projects, and our social media outlets and platforms. So Alex Pfluger will take over as detective, will become Detective Pfluger. And I will be remiss, I know I've all notified all of you, but it's my honor to publicly announce the official notification that Lieutenant Tom Walker has put in his retirement papers. And he will be present until February 7th, but then officially March 17th will be his last day as a very valued commander and overall asset to the Town and Country Police Department for over 27 years. Lieutenant Walker has 32 years in law enforcement, as he served Kansas City Police Department 5 years before coming to Town and Country. And he has served faithfully and committed his career to the citizens of Town and Country, and for that will ever be grateful. So again, thank you very much for all your continued support. Everybody have a happy new year, and let me know if you need anything. Thank you.
I think they already heard around. As I said in my earlier remarks, at 6 o'clock, we are fortunate to have the fine police department in the country that we have. And that these men and women really put their lives on the line for us every day, and so we very much appreciate it. Before we go on to commission reports, one couple of quick little things. Michael, if you could talk about Clayton Road, I will tell you that my car is much happier than it was. There's been some serious progress there. Seems like it's moving right along. We've had some nicer mild weather. It's allowed them to get some things done, and I appreciate it. I'm sure all of our citizens who traverse that sometimes multiple times a day are happy. So I think we're getting closer. When is have they given you, I guess they can't because of the weather, and if we stayed at 50 degrees, how much longer would it take to finish?
They have not given me a date when they'll do it. They've decided to push off the finishing product until the springtime.
Okay.
Rather than just playing hit and miss with the weather, they're just gonna wait to consistently good weather to finish it up, so.
Well, they've made enough progress on the unevenness, and I think we could live with that quite easily. Thank you. And Alderman Francisco, you may, we're going to be talking about this, but I just want to, about art and wine. I'll wait for that. Let's then go to reports from our commission chairs and aldermen, if they would, whatever they want to talk about on their committees and commissions.
I guess I'll just go right in then. Yes, so February 24th, we'll see the return of Art and Wine, an event traditionally held in Longview that's always been well received and attended by residents, but one that we've had to forfeit the last few years due to COVID. We're excited to be bringing it back once again at Longview. We have 4 artists that will be showcasing, plus wine and food. More details will be forthcoming, including how to purchase tickets. But for now, mark your calendars for what we're sure will be a really nice evening, celebrating art, wine, and food.
Great. Thank you very much. Alderman Weezy.
Thank you, Mayor. In regard to, we've had a scheduled PFD meeting for next Tuesday. However, it's been requested that the police have been working with Alderman Allen, with the Police, Fire, and EMS Commission and the Ways and Means Commission to attend a joint open house presentation by West County Fire and EMS to discuss their intention to bring the question of annexation for fire and EMS to the residents of Town and Country. The meeting will still be held the same date and time, which is January 17th at 4:30 p.m. Given the nature of the joint meeting, we'll be having the meeting in this room, and the open house presentation is the only topic to be discussed and is open to the public and commission members to attend as well.
Thank you. Alderman Farrow.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As of right now, the January 18th, Wednesday, January 18th planning and zoning meeting will probably be very busy. And the Maryville / Wood Lake project is still on the agenda as of right now. So we're looking forward to that meeting.
Virtually certain it will stay on the agenda. Alderman Holman.
Thank you, Mayor. We currently have a Public Works Commission meeting planned for next Tuesday at 6:30. So for those PFE members who are still here, they can just slide over and come to our meeting, which is our first since, I think, October. So we run since October, so we have a lot to discuss.
Thank you. Mr. Shelton, I think you have a report?
Thank you, Mayor. Just to make everybody aware, White Buffalo will be in town this Wednesday. Per our agreement with them, they will be in for approximately 1 week. And then I think as everybody is aware, we've scheduled a work session for any board members who can make it on Wednesday, the 18th at 10 a.m. We'll meet here and it'll be with the Department of Conservation and with a representative from White Buffalo to answer some of the questions that the board had.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
I thought the time moved
10 a.m.
from 10 a.m. to the evening. It didn't.
Both the representatives from MDC and White Buffalo need to be in the morning. They can't be here in the evening. 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Unfinished business, bill number 22-70, sponsored by Alderman Francisco. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2270 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a roof-mounted solar energy system facing a street located at 14 Summerhill Lane in the city of Town and Country.
Thank you. I seek a motion to approve. And a second? Second. Thank you. Any discussion or amendment? I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Francisco.
Aye.
Alderman Moreland.
Aye.
Alderman Perot.
Aye.
Alderman Even.
Aye.
Alderman Weezahan.
Aye.
Alderman Holman.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
And Alderman Allen.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4549.
Thank you very much. Under new business, bill number 23-01. Sponsors for the bill, I believe, are Alderman Holman, Weezahan, and Newman. Correct.
Yes.
And without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2301 is an ordinance accepting the bid and authorizing an agreement with T Hill Construction for the 1839 Woodmark Road Channel Improvement Stormwater Project.
Thank you. Bill number 23-01 is continued to the meeting of Monday, January 23rd, 2023 for the second reading consideration. Next is bill number 23-02. I believe Alderman Holman and Hughes are sponsors for this.
Yes.
And without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2302 is an ordinance accepting the bid and authorizing an agreement with 2 Alpha Contracting for the Oak Springs Cul-de-sac Drainage Improvement Stormwater Project.
Thank you. Bill number 23-02 is continued to the meeting of Monday, January 23rd, 2023 for the second reading and consideration. Next is bill number 23-03. And I believe Alderman Weezahan is sponsoring this. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2303 is an ordinance approving a purchase order with Flock Group for 2 Flock cameras and amending the 2023 budget by increasing a capital improvements fund expenditure account and appropriating funds to cover the increase, and authorizing the city administrator to enter into a services agreement for same.
Thank you. Just a comment I'd make on it is I believe this will bring us to between city-owned and individual subdivisions, 10 flock cameras in the city of Town and Country, which I think is a great thing. And that these particular cameras, at the end of the day, are going to be, there will be a donation to cover those. Bill number 23-03 is continued to the meeting of Monday, January 23rd, 2023 for the second reading and consideration. Next, resolution number 01-2023, a resolution authorizing the application for a surface transportation block grant for the Oak Road resurfacing and pedestrian improvements project. I seek a motion and second to
So
approve.
moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or amendment? And again, as I'm I know the members of the board know that if for whatever reason we don't get the grant, the application fee is refundable. Any other discussion on that? Alderman Allen.
Thank you, Mayor. Question, what would the projected match be for that?
It's 80-20, so it's 2.3 million total project cost, and the federal government would cover 1.8 million of that. We would be on the hook for $500,000.
Very nice, thank
All in favor?
you.
Any opposed? So motion carries unanimously. Next, bill number 23-04. I think perhaps this could be either Alderman Francisco or perhaps the board as a whole. Without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2304 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute a professional services agreement with SWT Design for services associated with the design and construction administration of the Longview Farm Park Playground Renovation Implementation Project.
Bill number 23-04 is continued to meeting Monday, January 23rd, 2023 for the second reading and consideration. Next is bill number 23-05. Again, perhaps Alderman Francisco and the board as a whole.
Yes.
Without a, you can on the next one.
Oh, are we at 2305?
Go on, just one you want?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Uh,
Let me have the, please, if I could have the city clerk read the bill for the first time first.
Bill number 2305 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute a professional services agreement with SWT Design for topographical survey services associated with the Longview Farm Park Playground Renovation Implementation Project.
Excellent, sorry. I apologize.
Okay. Bill number 23-05 is continued to meeting on Monday, January 23rd, 2023 for the second reading consideration. Next, bill number 23-06, again, sponsor Alderman Francisco and the board as a whole. Without objection, the city clerk read the bill for the first time.
Bill number 2306 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute a professional services agreement with SWT Design for services associated with the development of the Preservation Park Playground Master Plan.
Alderman Francisco.
Yes, apologies there. If I can add a quick comment, since the playground master plan was originally developed, there's been some recent discussion about installing pickleball courts at Preservation Park by either replacing the sand volleyball court with them and or the playground itself. I just want the board to know that this is something that we will have SWT include when we begin discussions on how to rehabilitate that space. I mention this because even though the bill refers to playground, we're talking about the existing playground space and not that a new playground will necessarily go into that space. Like we did with the other parks, we'll hold an open house for the public to weigh in on several design ideas. Pickleball courts will be one.
Just a quick question on that, and I'm not sure what we can or can't do, but wouldn't it be easier just to make a couple of those tennis courts and pickleball courts?
Well, the challenge, I believe, is that we have agreement with CDC to, it's a lease back thing, or they maintain it.
CBC maintains the tennis
But they
courts.
don't maintain it that well, and I was wondering that if we decided to, maybe we would pay for, if we're gonna pay for it anyway, where the sand volleyball courts are, that at least think about it. You just have them take a look at it.
Yeah, and one thing we were going to do is take some of the existing tennis courts and put line strips in to turn them into some pickleball courts.
Okay.
That was something that we had discussed at Parks and Trails. However, they were gonna resurface their courts, so we
Okay.
didn't wanna have to go back and do it a second time.
Okay, so we can look at it.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have that.
All right. Bill number 23-06 is continued to the meeting Monday, January 23rd, 2023 for the second reading and consideration. Next is bill number 23-07. Hopefully the board as a whole will sponsor, and without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2307 is an ordinance authorizing adoption of an amendment to the contract for housing of municipal inmates with St. Louis County and approving future fee amendments up to an established maximum.
Bill number 2307 is continued to meeting Monday, January 23rd, 2023 for the second reading consideration. The warrant list is $1,375,759.48. I seek a motion and second.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I do not have any other business, but I would open it up to the board if they have anything they wish to bring forth. If not, then I would seek a motion and a second to approve for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And, have a good rest of these.
Not as if anybody wants to go watch football.
I see the game on.
See ya.